In this video, I want to go over how we enabled a client to close a $10,000 deal in 5 days with cold email. So a very, very quick win here. I'll show you the exact framework we used and essentially how we structured that campaign. So the very first thing we did is that we helped this client map out the TAM. So, we essentially looked at, how many contact details can we actually find on this particular ICP, across the databases that were at our disposal. So this is the absolute first thing we did. And the reason why that's very important to do, especially in the start, is because you want to know how many emails you can be sending per day, right? So if you have a very large TAM, what you can do is that you can have a very, very large sending infrastructure that's capable of sending thousands and thousands of emails. But obviously, if you're targeting, 500 enterprise accounts worldwide, it's probably not going to make sense to blast out thousands of emails. So it's a very important part of setting up the system. And we concluded in this case that we need about 1,000 emails per day. So that would give us a long enough time to essentially hit the entire TAM and then start reusing the data after a while, so we could keep this consistent outbound campaign going. Essentially just getting this in front of the TAM consistently for a long period of time. And what we did was that we used two forms of essentially personalization and relevance. So on the personalization side of things, in this campaign, we targeted a specific location, and we obviously mentioned that in the email. Now, this is obviously a pretty basic version of personalization. It's not that hard to do, to name drop the location of the person. So in this case, we also tried to make it a bit relevant, right? So some locations that were close to the client, you could mention the fact that it's a neighboring city, etc., etc. Then what we also did is that we combined this with an intent signal. Now, an intent signal can be a bunch of different things. So, it could be that a company has recently been funded, right? And they might need particular services in that case. It could also be new hires, or they're looking for particular roles, and your service can sort of complement that, or maybe even be an alternative to that particular role. It could also be announcements that you are somehow able to scrape. It could be acquisitions, etc., where you're able to sort of use that as an intent signal. It could also be a seasonal thing, right? Certain seasons will be better for certain types of services, right? So sometimes you can do that as well. And also some different databases will allow you to track things such as growth, right? So if a company is in a growth stage, you can mention this as an intent signal, right? So it could be, we help growing, fast-growing businesses in New York City, for example, right? It could be something like that. So it becomes very sort of personalized. And this actually helps on two different planes, so to speak. So the first one would be obviously the conversion plane, right? So actually converting people because it's very relevant, it's very targeted, but also it's going to actually reduce the amount of manual spam reports you get, because when something is very personalized and it looks researched, what's going to happen is that less people are going to be reporting it to spam, because it's not a spray and pray approach. Like, they think it's actually targeted towards them. It's almost like you did some research, you respect their time, and you know that you're not just going to send out an email to just anyone. Like, they have some sort of exclusivity in this case. It's not an offer that's just blasted out to everyone. So that's going to essentially also going to be a snowballing effect, because if you get more replies, you get less spam report rates, deliverability is going to go in an upward cycle, and you're going to get better email deliverability, overall better results, and also fast results, because in this case, as I mentioned, 10K deal in 5 days. So this was just a quick idea here for sort of a campaign. So combining these two here, it's a very interesting thing to do. Converts great. I find that these two, for some reason, are just very good to do in conjunction. So I hope this was helpful. If you're looking for anyone to set up a system like this within your company and help you find these ideas and help you do stuff like this, I'll leave a link in the description, and you can book a meeting with me if you would be interested. So hope this sparked an idea, and thanks for watching.